Alright, that should be good. Video straight enough. Weight on the rack. Nothing crazy. Today we're doing back. It still looks kind of funky. I'll go with that. Yeah, that's better. Today we're doing back. First exercise is actually rows. Did some warm-ups, but I think for right now, I'm just gonna do some rows under grip because I like the activation more. And we're gonna. I think we already worked the lower back a little bit, just kind of warming up and having some issues with that. So we're just gonna get straight into this. That was nice, actually. It felt decent. Good amount of reps. Gonna up the weight. Some 25s on. Okay. Moving the angle a bit, just because I'm dumb. Ugh. And I didn't realize there's a mirror right here. Actually, I knew there was, but I like looking in the mirror just to keep my form straight. But I was looking through this one. It was just kind of awkward having these right here. So we're gonna do this. I think I'm in the screen at least in focus. But round 2 of rows. Under grip again. Huh? That was a good bit heavier. Drop the weight. Get some more reps going. Whew. All right. One more set. And then we're going to go to a few more lat exercises. See if I can spam out a few more with 185. And then head over to maybe single arm lat pull downs. Kind of work here. And then I'll do some lower too in a bit. But one more set of under grip rows. And then, yeah, some lats, rear delts, a little bit of biceps to work in. We'll be good. Why is this heavy? when the lift feels a bit lighter like 2 weeks ago, and then you try it again and you feel a lot weaker, it's not necessarily fun. But this feels good. This is just kind of a starter exercise, I think. Especially under grip, you get kind of more in biceps, a little shoulder activation, lats, a little lower back just from the bending. I really like this one. To me, it's like a compound exercise. And I don't know, sometimes I really don't do compounds to warm up. The back day, this is always at the start of the roster, at least for me. I don't know anything about the gym. I just show up. That's all I'm good for. I just come here daily and I do my own thing. So we're gonna move on. We're gonna do low rows. I think we're gonna do some high rows, and then maybe some underhand pull downs, lat pull downs. But let's get started with this. This is a new exercise for me that I started using, and I really like it. Oh, sounds like I broke something. Whew. Yes. The weight a little. I'm not the greatest at these, but we're trying to get better. And that is always the goal. All right. Well, this is a rare occurrence. Everyone is gone except one guy. So it's just me. Up the weight a little bit. Also with these, I like using this kind of wider grip. That way, whenever I pull all the way back, it works down here. It just kind of, it gets you that like indentation in the back, like where your spine is. I just feel a better squeeze. I don't know if there's a better way to do it, but this is what I've been doing for this. I've only done it a handful of times, but let's try to crank a few out. Oh, that was a good set. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna call it there. That was a good set. Do one more, and then we're gonna move on to isolateral high rows. So just single arm high rows. down. And then that'll transition into underhand lat pull downs. And then we do a little bit of biceps and rear delts. So angled a little bit different. Oh, I kind of think this is a good angle. I want to see if I can, perfect, if I can get a little bit better angle for this. I like seeing the back. It looked pretty good, but we're gonna try from the side, a little more toward the front, and see if we can just get a decent angle for this. I want to see how it affects the rest of the body as well, other than just the rear view of the back. And with this, up the weight a little bit, we're going to do something a little different. Just go with the drop set. It's for me. Everyone has their own way of doing things, but I like doing these drop sets. I feel like I get a bit more exhaustion out of them, but I also just, I feel like it builds more, at least for me. Let's go. Normally I do this after other exercises, but this time we're just doing it before. So this is kind of early in my workout actually, and it's funny that I say early because I want to get out of here because it's 11. Huge drop. Normally I would drop less, but too late. So. Yeah, that was so. Wasn't the greatest, wasn't the worst. Honestly, I feel like just holding it might be better. Just puts extra stress on that bicep tendon. Yeah. All right. Now time for isolateral. Whew. All right. I'm feeling decent. Feel like a good beginner's pump going on. Kind of just starting to get, everything tight, everything working. Next, we're moving on to this, which is actually one of my favorites. Just put weight on the back. I like that isolateral stuff. It's helped a lot with my muscle imbalance. So it's definitely a good thing to do, especially if your left or your right arm is a little lackluster to the other, and you can do them different ways, like down or under grip, just kind of standard, do double. But I think for me, I just hate this grip is just, it's weird. But I think what I'm gonna do is just overhand and yeah, decently heavy weight. I didn't do any warm-ups because I'm already pretty warm. And yeah, just kind of, the reason I like this, it's more of a, I don't know, it's more of an explosive exercise for me. You can do it more squeezing but I like it a bit explosive. That's kind of how I like all my workouts. Um, but yeah, let's go. It's always kind of awkward to grab though. We're definitely gonna have to up the weight. Because I grabbed it right there. Two, three. Yeah, that was a lot of reps. We're gonna up the weight a decent bit. Try to go for some partials. Because I mean that's tiring, but not as much as it would be with more weight. Probably gonna want to grab this. All right. So sweatshirt's off, and the gym is fully empty. Um, but I wore two sweatshirts or two jackets because it's like 20 outside. It's snowing for the first time this year, basically. But no one's in the gym, which makes me feel a little bit more confident as far as this goes. Lifting. Usually when people are here, I lift better. It's kind of like competitive nature. But for this, I feel like this is a little bit better. I'm actually gonna up the weight a little bit more. I'm gonna try to get an angle kind of to see where the arm goes, also the side of the lats. And I am by no means an expert. Half the time I don't even know what I'm doing. I just go based on what feels good to me. And that's all you can really do. Just see what feels best for you. I mean, if you're deadlifting, don't lift with your upper back like this, but kind of try everything out. See what feels good for you. And I think that showed kind of the shoulder activation. But yeah, isolation really helped. I mean, I still have major imbalance. Not major, but some imbalance. But it helped a lot. Oh, yep, that was heavy. Way heavier. It was like it's like an extra 30 pounds. It goes a long way. 30 pounds per side. It was a lot. That was heavy, but I liked it. My God, my form. My skinny arms, my form is atrocious. But I'm still feeling it. So that's a good sign for me. Plus, I'm not injuring anything this way. At least I don't think I will be. Um, I've injured my back, my shoulders, my knee. So if I really have an issue, I'll fix it and I'll notice. But another set till failure. Try to change it up a little bit. I think this is the first time this gym has ever been empty since I've gone here. It's 24 hours, and usually I'm gone by this point, so that's probably why. But I think we're done. Last one, a little bit different. It's gonna be underhand lat pull downs. Oh man, it's still snowing. Huh, that's awesome. Let's see. This is kind of at an awkward angle just because of how close it is to the wall. So I can't even really get an actual back angle for it. But let's see if I can work something out. Like I said, by no means am I a professional. I really don't know what I'm doing. I know more about the nutrition aspect of what I'm taking rather than what I'm actually doing. And that's purely because I sell them. And I'm kind of nerdy with that stuff. So I like to study up on them a little bit. And I'm going to take some BCAAs in a second. But today's pre, let's see. What's today's pre? Here's the BCAAs. I take a lot of bucked up stuff. So these pre of the day, whatever. These bucked ups. Woke AF Miami flavor. I don't even know if this is going to make it. If I'm going to post it or if I'm going to cut half of this out anyways. But, all right. Under grip. Worse. Kind of do upper biceps. And this is one thing that I need to do a little bit more of. I'm going to kind of get bigger arms. But it's kind of like pulling into your chest instead of just straight down. My legs are not that big. That was kind of light. Bump that up a little bit. Thankfully, back is one of my strong suits. I'm not the strongest guy, but I do a lot of rock climbing. So if I do post this, you'll probably see that. But I like back. Got pretty strong, decently strong back muscles. Not as much definition as I'd like, but it's kind of what we're working for. man, if I don't look weird doing this, I don't know what to say. I don't have the greatest form, but somehow I still feel everything that I need to. But this is gonna be our last lat exercise, I think. Feeling decently pumped. I might do one more if I'm not feeling too hot. But I do a lot of exercises on back day. Maybe I need to change it up. But I'm gonna try this again. So. Not the greatest back day I've ever had. But whatever. All right. Next. All right. So, after doing all that, I do feel pretty pumped. I'm not gonna lie. After just letting it sit for a second, next we're gonna move on to cross body curls. Could do hammers. I could do a few other things, but I think for right now, kind of thinking about doing crossbody, just yanking it. Pause. Whew. I like those. I think those feel good compared to a lot of other stuff. Like, could do, standard curls. Kind of like the crossbody ones though. That's just personal preference for what I'm doing. I love P trains. All right. So the underhand pull downs, it's kind of like a transition exercise. Personally, whenever I'm doing stuff like this, I like the transition ones just because it's kind of just works here, it also works here, which sometimes you don't target, especially if you're doing curls. You don't kind of target more of that upper bite, lower, depending on what angle you look at it, kind of closer to your forearm rather than your actual upper near your shoulder. But that was a transition. I'm going to go into this, and then we're actually going to do one more bicep exercise. And then we're going to do like 2 things for rear delts maybe. And then we're going to head out. keep the form a little bit. I think that's good. Do this one more time, and then we're going to go to a secret exercise. Now, I'm not keeping my form super defined here. I'm just kind of trying to, throw it up. But I am kind of focusing on it, not doing super heavy weight to where I'm just, using complete momentum, but, a little bit. It's supposed to be a little heavy just to kind of put a little more stress on the muscles as they're actually moving. I like it better, personally. You can do, super just crazy crossbody curls where you're just going strict and everything, but to each his own. Oh, okay. Now it's tired. So, moving on to the next exercise. This is the secret machine. I learned this from one of my best friends, Bahan. He is a bodybuilder. He wants to compete, and a lot of the stuff I've learned is actually from him. And I'm excited to see how he does soon. But I was gonna rest my foot up here. But this is a little different. I call this the granny machines. These Life Fitness, like resistance machines. This one's especially, they're kind of weird. They're just on this band, and you just kind of click those things out. It gives you this weird resistance. But if you do single arm, when you just do curls on this, and let it fall, it targets that bicep so much. And it's surprisingly difficult. Especially after what we just did. Feels really good. So, I think maybe 2 more sets of this, and then we'll move on to some rear delts, which I'm excited for. I just started doing them actually a few weeks ago, and they've become probably one of my favorite things to work out. Plus the aesthetic of them is just, it's really cool. So, yeah. This is a test. Cool. All right. I'm gonna try out a little different angle. Look at this. Let's see how it feels. See how it looks. Oh, I lost the grip, and then it was just done. Should have got more. Cool. Now, this is a pretty dense gym because it's actually not even relatively, it's actually really small for a gym. But because of that, everything is actually super dense, super densely packed. So it makes the angles kind of awkward. Awesome. Let's go hit rear delts and let's get out of here because it's getting late. All right. So let's try to get this done quick. They're saying I was having issues with storage, and I guess that's the downside of filming on an iPhone. Especially when you're like 6,000 photos of your album and stuff like that. I probably should delete a good bit. I actually did one set, but I'm fine if I have to do another 3. That was a really light set. Anyways, this is kind of similar to a tech deck. Weird cheap. It's kind of fun. Well, it's not even that big of motion. It's kind of from here to here. Or I guess not here to here. But it feels great. A lot of people don't like the handles as these usually click together on both sides when you're going back. But I like them. So we do this, then go to face pulls, then check, then leave. So let's get it done. Right. Round 3. But it's going up, which is good then. Oh, that felt good. Okay, we're gonna slightly up the weight one more time. Oh, that helps. Do one more set and go on and do some face pulls. Alright, time for face pull. I can actually do a decently heavy weight for my understanding. We're actually in a different thing. It's gonna be this. You can use the rope if you like. I just like the way this feels in my hands better. It's not like digging into the muscles like my thumb. It's a lot different of a feel than the crossbody one was. All right. This is a long back day. I mean, it's not just back. That's why it's kind of weird. I kind of split my back up into just back and like one exercise in the delts and exercise biceps, just to kind of feel the blood moving through. But also just triceps the camera since I've never really done this before. So yeah, this is amazing. I forgot to put it up there. Feels good. Now we're done for the night. I have to go home and get some food. And there's like 3 inches of snow in my car. So it's gonna be great. There we go. That took me way too long to find a place to put my thing, but it's just gonna sit right on top. It was on my headphones the whole time. But actually gonna shorten this just a little bit. Don't have the greatest lighting in here, but it's gonna work either way. Kind of one of those things where it's not great lighting, but what you see is what you see. Progress in the biceps. Not bad. I do feel relatively pumped. Decent amount. So that's always a good thing. I'm not the greatest at flexing either. If I go up here, it's better. Nowhere near good enough at flexing. Just like 3 days ago. Yeah, the lighting's not great in here, but it's whatever. really, half the time don't know what I'm doing. But, yeah. Rear delts actually got pretty decent bump in. See my biceps. I think lats did too, but it really didn't really I don't know what I'm trying to say. It's been a while since I hit lats, since they were the first thing I hit, but no, not bad. Shoulders are getting bigger, lats are getting bigger. We're doing good. Anyways, I think that's it. Alright, so I think that's gonna be it. I'm gonna go try to start my car. It's old, so don't know how well that's gonna work. But that's the end of today. If this even gets posted, we'll see. Probably not, because I'm a wimp and I get too embarrassed to post things. But good back day. If it does get posted, I'll post the workouts in the description. And now I'm gonna go eat. I don't think I have anything at home, and I think Taco Bell's the only thing open. I don't like Taco Bell, but I have to eat something. So if this is out, thank you guys for watching. This is day 1. This is back biceps and rear delts. And then we'll see what tomorrow holds. All right. I wasn't gonna do this, but it is snowing outside at the gym. Letting the car warm up. Anyways, this is gonna be the end of it. It's a little worse than I thought. This is the first snow that we've gotten basically all year. And it's cold. My car is cold too. So, yeah. Anyways, time to go get food.